Okay. Um, I'm back up. It's 1:30 and they're still the same. Nothing good. Lots of the M word and something about stalking little girly twirlies and the O word and so on and so on. And so more of the same, and they are still at large. So you need to get these men into custody now, please and thank you. Um, I'm thinking about going out to the library, but um, get out of the house for a little. I will leave the camera on when I go out so you can see because I'll walk away on it anyway. They follow me around on Yellow Man Google Map app also when I go out, so you can see that. Sorry, I haven't gotten this. Just eating. I'm gonna take it over here so my chewing isn't as loud. custody now. Now, and get them out of my house. And get whatever they're on. They cannot be loose in the community with this. Now, get these filthy men into custody now. Get them off the ability to sexually assault people. Okay? Get all these absolute dirty, lowest trash you've brought into communities out of them now. Yeah. He openly talks about sexually assaulting women and kids on that thing. Whatever it is, and then actually does it. I mean, it's like the most open talk as possible. I plan to N-word and her and girl to girl and follow that in the house. I do that if I do that. And N-word, and then he aims for your crotch with the thing, like completely. You need to get him into custody now. And the rest of them, and there definitely is such a thing. There definitely is such a thing. I'm not crazy. Something that can actually touch your body on a cell phone tower? Yeah. Oh. And these guys got it, and like, oh my God, on the monster chimpanzees that are in it. Really, yeah, that have the thing. Enough with the heavy breathing inaudible noise app and whatever the hell that thing just said. Did you hear it? Holy crap. Somebody get it and kill it. Now, get him into custody now. I'm going to have to go to the library just to get away from the damn thing. Yeah. Stuff to do, but I guess I can do it from there. What with the what now? You need to get that freak into custody now. These freaks into custody. There's definitely a madman at large with all that. There's a monster at large, and you need to get that stupid thing into custody also, whatever he's on. Okay, there's no such thing as sexually assaulting women and kids with that thing, whatever he's using to do that. It is very bad. I mean, he's just really able to touch your body with the thing, and he aims right for whatever he's saying. We're like, yeah, it's unbelievable. And it has like a full body scanner on it and everything else. You need to get them into custody and you need to get whatever they're using to do all that. Yeah, I gotta get out of the house so I don't go crazy from whatever. It's just depressing. Also, they can still get you outside if you are on your cell phone. You need to get the thing if your cell phone is plugged in. You need to get the thing. Yeah, I'm an expert on that thing now. That's great. You need to get whatever they're using. Oh, that's awful. You need to get the device they're using and all the technology they're using and get exactly what it is and take it away from them. Okay. It is extremely important. Sorry, as I put away dishes. Just not that. There is definitely a device that can touch you that the police have. The police should know this, and you need to get it out of the wrong hands. Okay. Right now. Okay, that's good enough. There is a device or something that can actually touch your body. It's really, really bad. You need to get whatever device they're using that can actually touch your body into custody now. The thing, I recognize it, and so does a lot of other people, I think. Really, yeah. Unfortunately, whatever ability that's coming out of law enforcement security offices, however the ability of all this work, you need to immediately first of all, these guys are using it as a sexual assault device, and it is widespreadly used as a sexual assault device. Whatever they're on now, there's kind of no. As a woman, I have heard this story over and over again. That actually, sometime in the 1990s, there became an ability. As far as for men or for something using like it always sort of came out as Zeke's pawn shop again or something, or law enforcement security maintenance or some kind of tech department out of something that was more like professional crime or more professionals had, like Radio Shack or something had it. But there is a cell phone device that can in fact sexually assault you, your body. It can actually touch your body. it generates electrical impulses, and it actually grounds inside your body. There is a police grounder, I believe, like on every other cell phone tower in Vegas or something weird, and on the street lots. And because of that, the damn thing can actually touch you. But uh, I believe, yeah, and the law enforcement security offices and stuff had access to this, and that's what's going on right now. It's very, very bad. It's really obnoxious. The in progress police grounder, I believe, is for, if there's a guy that they have to arrest and he's running across a field, they just, it like, instead of just Google man, yellow man, GPS guy, the guy, which might be pretty sticky in law enforcement. Really, yeah, like because they're going to have professional tech. These guys are definitely not allowed to use it. I said it got worse when there was long distance cell phone. Uh, as easily as it is, as it sort of progressed into that over the last 15 years here. This is unbelievable. This man has stalked me 24/7 ever since. And so that's really, really bad. You need to get these men into custody now. I have no idea. I'm probably gonna, like, my eyebrows going to be sideways and drawn in on this, but who cares? That's correct. I'm sure so is his. Really, yeah. Word. I probably I look fine for everybody. We haven't People don't point and laugh or anything at me. So now it's a very, very of concern. The stupid thing is like a muscle spasm device. Really, yeah, like TENS therapy, and the thing can actually get. And he's aiming. He's just it is. It Can you hear the schizophrenic monkey? He's got inaudible noise hooked up to it, and they have all these abilities out of their law enforcement security office, and they heavy breathe on it, and you can tell like this is a purposeful sex app. I know for sure somewhere in the 90s, relatively early on, people figured this out and started using the in-progress police grounders or something. You can actually sexually assault a person on by a cell phone, by somehow. Really, yeah. I've heard this story before. People have encountered it all throughout. I've encountered it before, but kind of, and in places where I think it has to be on. You have to have something. I'm not sure how it works. How all the tech works needs to be understood completely. There is very much an ability to touch people via technology, and you can generate. And can you hear the? Yeah, enough with the guy that is just like the schizophrenic monkey of rapist death. Overall, it's very, very nasty. It's a nasty ability. You need to figure out what it is, who's got it, and how. No, I'm 250% positive. America actually had very serious problems with crime and corruption and in boots on the ground levels. And they actually were just kind of the bane of existence and still are. I would not necessarily think to place things where I place them. It's just that long ago when I was a kid, people were very much alive then. And you were in places like Las Vegas, Nevada, or somewhere like that, where people were very busily going about all the business and criminal business and anything else they can get into, just, behavioral crime and anything else. And it is simply just the facts. I swear under oath. And it was enough of a thing that was like, oh my God, as far as the neighborhood stalking out of law enforcement security, like very low class secret police almost. But we wondered if it was secret police because we've been traveling overseas, and it was just something like, I know because my grandfather worked for the Air Force, like during the McCarthy era or whatever. They didn't have secret police, but they had like McCarthy was like bothering him because he was like Ukrainian or something. I don't remember. He's like, would that make sense? Well, I'm not sure. No, I'm from Pittsburgh. I'm definitely not that kind of rusky. And like, but it was still like he was mean to me. He was mean to me. He was scary. He scared me. They were mean to me. And that hurt my feelings. But because we were traveling overseas or something, or just did you do something? Did you do something at work? It's like Stefan on a cell phone. Really, yeah. And they very much had cell phones in the 80s and early 90s and stuff. But the googly-eyed creep show at work that starts heavy breathing and things like that. There was a active heavy breather on the phone that apparently was like unbelievable for heavy breathers. And I mean, they can really get into some mouth on the heavy breathers. I have no idea why. Schizophrenia and sex issues or sex or something and schizophrenic, low maintenance men males. Um, but so, I mean, a really, really bit of a mess. You need to, my parents called the police multiple times. I remember standing out in the police headlights at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, maybe it was the middle of the night. And then my brother was up in the middle of the night a lot too, because he was a newborn born. Uh, but it was the middle of the night. I remember standing out. I remember those standing in the cop headlights at like 10:30 at night, like 11:30 at night. But I remember one night, 2 o'clock in the morning, we were there with the police. Yeah, because the thing was just I cannot for sure it was a real person. It was all my parents. Like I was like buffered from it and not as aware of it really, but my parents were having this like war with the like cable box. It had something to do with the cable box too. Are you sure it wasn't just there was pervy like yeah, somebody would slip pervy movies in before 10 o'clock a little or something that would scare you? No. I was perfectly happy watching my hour of TV after school of like Lassie and like Nick at Night and Nickelodeon. My mom and I remember waking up in the middle of the night. My mom's watching Nick at Night. Um, I remember Car 54. Where are you? Really? Yeah. I don't like Car 54. Where are you? To be honest with you, that's not very nice. No, I just don't. My mother doesn't anymore either. Really? Yeah. It used to be a cute show. They watched it when they were kids. After that year and a half or something. No, we both have like an aversion to Car 54. Where are them? Muldoon and Tootie. Really? Yeah. They were. It was security, law enforcement, maintenance personnel, and it was because our house had been left open. No, true story. I swear under oath, I could not think to make it up. It was the weirdest thing in the world. Really. I mean, I could think to make it up, but I wouldn't go on and on and on and on about it. And then they had a security. It was just like what? Remember what about Bob, that movie, or the Cable Guy? Yeah, like with Jim Carrey. Really, we had like a male stalker bunch. Like, who? I don't know, as a yuppie family, and they're really, 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 really criminal and dirty. And they had something to do with the area. It was because our house had been left, we owned the house. And no, I'm absolutely positive it was a stalker. It was like really, it scared me. I believe there was actually, I'll just be frank, there was the inaudible noise ability. And I've never heard voices. The TV never talks to me. Furniture never talks to me. No radio, extra voices in the radio sounds or in my head or outside my head. The television would had like a karaoke enabled. It was a VHF stalking and satellite stalking also, or something weird. I swear under oath, there were people on the airwaves back in the day. Uh, could be CB radio stalking, anything like that. I remember they did use an audible noise, and I remember something like really creepy about putting your like a hamster in the microwave and like then you go crazy or something like that. Really, which made me wonder if it's like clan tactics back in the day. Really, yeah, like there was like an interracial couple on TV that back in the day, they said they got abducted by aliens, but they didn't. This is like a famous story, and they knew they didn't get abducted by aliens. They knew it was just Pete from like and Jim from like, and they like drugged him at the bar or something like that from the clan. But it was like kind of well organized. And there were a couple other ones where like somebody drugged him at the bar, put something in their drink, that kind of thing. Really. I was wondering about the Amityville horror stuff that you see mainstream, if it's not like old clan tactics or something of that sort. Um, There's something about Amityville horror. Yeah, like Slender Man makes you kill. I didn't get it. I was so little because it was like the summer I turned 9. And then something about Lenny's penis and then Stinky and an M word and stuff like that. Really, yeah. It was real bad. I was like, that was later in Boca when it landed again. I think there was widespread, very corrupt secret police offices running around. And there was actually really bad, widespread corruption out. And I think it was just sort of a top down. It didn't really like, that was when somebody followed me home on the beach up stalking. And that touched me actually. In Boca, from the there was like a big swap meet at the Royal Palm Yacht and Country Club, which is a very nice neighborhood that has like these big Puff Daddy houses and stuff. And would you put a Puff Daddy? No, well, it does. It has big multi-million. They used to be less expensive. Now they're big. And then it also has like retired, very nice, normal, cute, who did. I think they've kind of replaced a lot of those ranch houses with pools for retired doctors and dentists and things like that. Our neighborhood. So the Royal Palm Yacht and Country Club, Boca Raton Royal Palm Yacht and Country Club, because it's on the Intercoastal, was having a large yard sale. That was like a swap meet, and it was like a yearly event, and we went to that, and something definitely followed me home from it. And as a little kid, and it was like Lenny again. It was like in Torriero, and the girl totally lived in the house here. The girl totally lived in the house here. The police have had GPS and cell phones a long time before you. Really, something followed me home, and I remember being at the swap meet, and it had something to do with, and the they but they just a fast scared to shoot out of me for like a month and then wandered away. Really, yeah, wandered off. That people describe the same things. That's what they describe. Like somebody is cruising neighborhoods. You put men in law enforcement security. I remember my mother calling the police on that also. Really, yeah, and the police standing there like, she said she could hear it or something. Again, on my mother, like it probably lasted like 2 months. Really, yeah. Could have followed us home from the school. Could have followed us home from anywhere else. Could have just been casing the joint. We didn't have as much. I don't know. There wasn't that much in there. No, they're pretty into little kids. Really, yeah. They're really pedophiles. The whole thing. There are people that if you put a man of a certain sort next to children, they just don't even bother to try. Really, yeah. You should not. Well, they bother to try, but like the guy in Love in the Time of Cholera or something. And then different walks of life, they just don't really give two hoots to the wind. There's guys that find themselves. They find themselves there again in the many hours of the days of our lives. I think they spend, they wake up. Most of us, should I head towards a high school? No. Why should I head towards a college sorority? No. Why would you do that as a grown man? No, they're about that ridiculous too. You actually have widespread problems with this, and they get in sort of like upper management for somehow. Really, yeah, they come in, and then in the halls of the institution. Now here's Bob, and Bob is very important. Bob is a very important man. Jim Carrey from the Cable Guy just won't quit. Yeah, on that. Really, yeah, I don't know why. He just did. They checked us out. In Boca again. They followed me to multiple. Checked us out in Boca and then went away because there was like nothing to do with us. I don't think it was sort of over. I think it was because our house had been left empty for like 4.5 years. Really, yeah. They didn't have the thing that would touch you, or if they did, it wasn't. There was nothing really to rape in the house. Remember that's what I remember my mother and father discussing it. Like, what the hell is it they're after? They also moved some money because they felt like they were quite obviously, and the fact that they have like a V-chip stalking on karaoke scared the living bejesus out of me. It was gravelly and like distant for sure. The TV talked to me like really. I've never had the television talk to me anywhere else. We don't have. I think because there were outbreaks of it, it got shut down. It was probably widespread in places like Westchester, New York, in Pound Ridge or somewhere, Armonk, North Salem, New York, and Richfield, Danbury. It was probably because there's lots of really, yeah. And then Boca Raton, same thing. It's obvious if it's on a human migration route, it might have followed the humans. There just is, you'll have things that are like that, like if you're there, there's lots of other people like yourself there. Like you're in, you're where the other guy is that is doing the same kind of thing as whatever you guys are doing. So, and so that's the case. Nothing. It's scary. It's a very distinct thing, and because it burns. It burns, it hurts, and it also bludgeons, and like your teeth feel like it just hurts. Really, the in progress police grounder is like painful, no matter what, if it's actually touching your body. So, and then TENS therapy is not something you'd want to aim at your crotch. Really, yeah, it hurts. It's like for your muscles. For sure, it's the same thing. And I've heard the same story. Also human migration groups and big zippity. something city, zippity, big, big, busy cities like that. And Tokyo is a really nice country, like Las Vegas or something. Japan's a very nice country, but Singapore's a very nice country. But like they have love. That's not uncommon. People do that. Like, there was this cute chubby family that went away on vacation, and then another one they went on vacation to a place that's supposed to be like Club Med for parents or something. There was this is ordinary people, but there was really cameras, really, yeah, like really pinhole cameras everywhere. They didn't, and they were quite well. Like they ended up being really bad, like neighborhood pornography. And the same thing if you go to like a love hotel, which is for like married people to leave the kids at grandma and go away to get away on a vacation. They checked them. There were so many cameras in the place. Really, yeah, it's very much it's very much a place, but it had something to do with the Americans, I'm sure. Really, yeah. It has something to do with the V-chip stalking, and that's what I'm saying. You have specific employees and specific things. And again, I swear under oath, and I'm positive. That's why actually the story about the like murder for hire thing worries me a little bit. And I didn't really because I haven't really said anything like this because a lot of people are like, no, there's some serious peepos out there, and you people are very bad. How bad has the corruption been here? Okay, you need to clean up your shed. As far as no, you are not better than anybody else. In fact, you need to stand down with the community and not be doing anything other than the specific task for which you were hired, for which you are only allowed to hire people that are also everybody can call the police on anybody. And if anything's against the law, it has to be prosecuted. And then on top of that, you need to only be hired. You can't hire for administration and all the rest of this stuff. Yeah. And then you can't use these like toss-up companies. But for sure, it'll turn out to be real tech, and I'll be right, which I know is the case. Really, yeah. No, I'm positive because it's simply the case, which is I've also goddamn had it with on you people. Really, yeah. Here's you have to do that. You have to investigate properly, following proper protocol. I bet, yeah. We don't have a country, and we didn't have a country day one. If the murder for hire thing turns out to be correct, like these people are actually so bad compared to the normal populace also, and everybody talks about them. Like if it turned out to be Hitler's, I wouldn't be surprised. It's so nasty. You don't have a country if you're, no, you don't. Oh, you very much don't. We don't have an America if Hitler takes over or something. You do microcosm, macrocosm. That man is extremely. How evil is Mr. Heavy Breathing phone call, dude? That's pretty evil. That is a microcosm, macrocosm. Well, that is Hitler if you are the little girl he's supposedly talking to in the background, or me. Because that thing rapes the ever living bejesus out of you really, really badly. It does. If you're a child, it would. There are men out of somewhere that follow people around on those things and on this stuff, and you need to figure out where they are. I'm thinking that it'll turn out to be like widespread, and you need to rate it. No, you have to rate it. This is why. You also cannot use the in-progress police grounders or something anymore, like in the capacity they're in, because like P. Diddy's and Epstein's has gone completely nuts with them. Yeah, and like overall, I know Steve Jobs is a very nice man. Well, it's like a Richard Huckle Steve Jobs or something too. Okay, does that make sense? Like where he's going to start a business where people will pay him for his behavioral criminal things, and lots of people want that. Actually, really, yeah, is what I mean. I mean because Richard Huckle, the British pedophile, thought that he could build a business out of his sexual behavioral crimes. Which they do. They're like, no, actually, because they're schizophrenic monkeys of death, monsters of death. So they're alive. They're handicapped slightly So it's less noticeable, but they're just very handicapped, or they're just very evil and criminal. Okay. How bad is the guy on the thing? Really? Yeah. The what with the what now? I don't know why I'm smoking a cigarette right now. It's not great. Because you've been doing this for the last, yeah, for like the last month. It's so bad still. Right, yeah, he aims right for the thing he's got. He broke in multiple times. This man is stalking the hell out of me. They very much have something that can touch you on a cell phone app. It has made it's an extremely dangerous and evil thing. The human race is kind of dead. Really, yeah, if these men can just, and the men on them are unbelievable. I said that day one, like, no, it's what I'm trying to say, and I swear under oath, you have got to get who's ever cruising the airwaves on this like home invasion stalking stuff. It's not secret police. It's like uh, really dirty criminals from like the hood overall. It is overall. All of these people are actually like absolute hood rat trash. Yeah, the like whatever's doing that with the money at Butner, you should have seen it. It was the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen. Is hood rat trash, and that's who like gets out. We got nothing to do it for mental health. Say that mental health. You need to get these freaks into custody now, like right now. Okay. They are actually employed by the government. They were all throughout. Yeah, you need to get Tokyo Baptist Union Church goes PDO over here and starts a company out of things. Really, that's why I said like it's Steve Jobs. Really, yeah. None of this stuff in this story was anything really like political. Almost, it was just sort of like a man started a company and ran off with it because it was there, and then another with some other guys. No, the rest of that stuff is correct too. You have political stuff, but there's no such thing as jurisdiction for the town security and maintenance officer or someone to actually create and fabricate evidence. That's a law enforcement security and maintenance personnel officer, which people that are police in charge know. Why don't you have any like cohesive law enforcement going on right now? Yeah, like cohesive, like air traffic control. Just doesn't apply to you. It applies to everything. There's no such thing as that. You can't do it to people in your own community. You are in all the people that live in Arkansas, and you're 45 minutes outside Fayetteville, Arkansas, which is a quite wealthy area thanks to like everything Walmart does for a living, and Arkansas does for a living, which is a reasonable amount. You're not like way back in the woods in the Ozarks or something. You're in the part of Arkansas that actually costs money to live in also. I mean, there's various places where people just live, but really, yeah, you want to live in that area. Well, that's why you can't afford to live there, lady. I'm actually from there, and because I'm from there, I ended up living in a fine and nice apartment. That was, if you look at what we paid for, it was quite well priced. And there's not anything going on, and nothing happens outside of your crime spree and all of your crime sprees, which I report every day. And I shouldn't be smoking a cigarette out here. It's been going on so long now. You need to get these men into custody now. Well, we're going to have to reopen the case as to arson is actually coming up again too. Because your neighbor's back porch, there was like, you got to stop hiring, please stop bringing in God knows what into the community. out of public sector. Apparently, there really is God knows what. It turns into like just like a psycho domestic violence or and sexual situation, sexual abuse and assault and crime situation. Oh, it just does. Really, yeah. They're really not qualified to interact with the public as much as in relation to like everywhere they're out of, anywhere they're out of. Yeah. Mhm. Those are more professional branches of law enforcement who didn't know what to do with the situation when the higher they're supposed to be, and they did actually appear to be more professional branches of law enforcement. But the problem is somebody put higher management up in everywhere as corruption, really, and they're very corrupt. They didn't know what to do either because there's all this weird, exactly, but there's no such thing as like it. Uh, Apparently, there was a stalking situation reported next door. They look very lower income compared to the community. Really, yeah. I mean, they're not. They're also. It's like gobble heating and air conditioning in there. Kettle heating and air conditioning. Mhm. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what's in the police station. Well, they're not allowed. It's a jurisdiction issue. Again, the problem with that is there's no such thing as that. Okay, there's not such a thing as that technically legally. There might be such a thing as jurisdiction. We're on more cohesive of that than that. Otherwise, we'd be things would be falling apart everywhere. You can't create something internally in something in public sector where the law doesn't apply. That's what the people complain about Dozier School, but you can't bring Dozier School into the mainstream, and people don't want you doing that in Dozier School. Like death of Martin Lee Anderson, it is so extreme as far as people can tell that it is like because it's kind of degenerates and domestic abusers, and then it's a stone soup company. They don't want the marketing from that getting out everywhere, which we'll try to do because it can make money somehow. It's a shake the tree company or it's like a grift company. Yeah. They use others people's services. They don't actually have anything of their own. They're toss ups. They have stuff of their own, but they filled an employee roster with it. Okay. Bartlett's Boys Home Youth Campus, really. That would be the kind of thing that they don't want you doing that in there. It's very weird, really. Yeah, that could be just another juvie corrections. Well, because it has mental health, they don't actually have mental health. They use Monarch, and because they have their own facility over here, they just kind of use Monarch the same as they are here, which is what. No, they're not supposed to do this everywhere, which is actually why I mentioned it because this is actually well known and they market and they get out other places. Like they will literally be marketing out of Dozier Schools, Bartlett's Boys Home or something in the local and running their people who do not actually, yeah, because they're also mental health these days. Yeah, and have been for a while. We all know that's what's going on. That's one of the companies that's running around that's corrupt. They do actually do that. It's kind of just death of Martin Lee Anderson in there. Yeah. And it's like Polk in there. Bartlett's Boys Home. Yeah, they don't actually have mental health. They'll use something they'll use something like Monarch to actually, there's like some required visits or something that they bus them to. And they'll have somebody that comes in that's like one of their guys that they hired, and that's about it. For the most part, they're just over there doing like calisthenics in the yard or something weird. Digging holes, really. Or something. I'm not sure. Whatever. There is no pony at the Bad Baby Ranch, really. On Dr. Phil. So Dr. Phil comes out as a pedo and a wife beater like every other show. He's like Jerry Springer these days. He's a icky. He has been for years. I don't know what he's talking about, but that is not acceptable. It's not a venue on Dr. Phil for underage kids. Really, yeah, he needs to calm down with underage kids, teenagers, and not encourage it on daytime television next to. And Jerry Springer needs to quit with the handicap. I'm not sure what that is supposed to be on Jerry Springer, but it would be handicapped people of West Virginia. Yeah. There's not one person on Jerry Springer who's not handicapped. So occasionally. Well, how bad is the heavy breather? This is not uncommon. You need to get this out of American infrastructure. You don't have a country. You have like a deficit of crime and a crack house that's nasty and very dangerous, and it's youth and women and really, yeah, it's very very predatory towards like why would the burden of proof would be on somebody like these guys as opposed to somebody like myself or minors. Really, yeah. And then when you look at one of them, there's just not a higher authority to it, which is nonsense. The law applies enough everywhere else. Yeah. It needs to apply. There's no loophole there. Okay. And there's no, it's not supposed to be any loophole in relation to crime. That these guys are so, your law enforcement security offices are the other thing that just, there's nowhere to report things with all this. Really, yeah. So things get really, really hood ugly, really, yeah. But of as far as just crime, domestic violence, sexual abuse, all bits on the ground. Because you this jurisdiction crap is nonsense. There's there's no such thing legally. All felony crime and then all crime has to be prosecuted. The fact that you are refusing to prosecute highest felony crime overall, yeah, that's all crime. You have to prove it. It's pretty. It's the fact that it's completely proven and they created evidence. These guys keep saying, well, somebody on the phone is doing it, telling them that. The very strange and random house fire next door was definitely arson, which it says in the report. This is not a case of a random spontaneous combustion. This substance was sprayed all over the back porch, and there's reports as to stalking next door. And then the local police and FBI just didn't do anything further with it. They didn't want to, I guess, because that was about. I have no idea. Really. You need to get whatever's in our police station out of there. It's some kind of company troll for corruption also. It's really nasty. 2:30 already if I'm gonna go up to the library. Okay. See, that would be crime, really. Yeah. The Inaudible Noise app is really, really, really strange. No, I'm positive I've never heard voices. It was coming in a gravelly voice out of the cable box, and I didn't even know what it was, really. Or I knew what it was. It was whatever mommy and daddy were fighting in the cable box. I was so little. My mom had just had my brother. We were concerned why it was a sex offender. They moved money into like my grandfather passed away while we were there also. And he might have left my father money. Really, yeah. My uncle and aunt and uncle in Swickley that lived in that nice house in Swickley that worked for Merrill Lynch, they said the same thing. So did Great Falls, Virginia. They said, really, yeah, we know that these are some kind of that they get out because there is an ability to do this. Nowadays, the cable boxes, the smart devices, all this stuff are supposed to be locked. Like there's no way, maybe somebody at Radio Shack can learn through law enforcement security, corrections, some kind of town maintenance. I mean, if you're going to give these people like skeleton keys and all this other stuff, like I watched them in the jail, that there are all these different locks. Like this is just a Briggs lock or whatever. Really, yeah, they have skeleton keys to Briggs locks. I wasn't thinking about it. I was like, oh, you're right. That is what that is. No, those or Brinks. I'm sorry. Do they make both? That's how stupid you are, lady. Yeah. Okay, you need to monitor what access to tech these guys have. They're the same criminal all throughout, too, or the same kind of criminal, very much. So they're like, and they're the same group. So you need to do something about it. And again, I swear to oath, I'm really just recanting facts. I didn't know what it was, and as a kid, I was like, no, I think that's you in compulsions, dude. No, if you hurt your hamster and put your hamster in the microwave or something, then you go to the nut house forever. I mean, I'm just so little or something. And then something like icky. And then the V-chip stalking was very widespread, and you really had men engaging in it out of like Epstein's security office, out of law enforcement security and maintenance, the same as this now. Yeah. Okay. And then you really had something get out that was doing something ridiculous in the school system in the 90s. Yeah.
it came from the 70s also. It did not come from like, and you let Jared from Subway's little company get in. And it was really nasty of where Jared from Subway has decided that he's definitely going to run a Boy Scout and Girl Scout. He's going to run some kind of like camping with kids and stuff. Camp counselor. Kid camp. Probably, maybe Bill Clinton was a sleazeball. That's what the Congress was trying to tell us by getting him with the Monica Lewinsky scandal. I need to get out of the house from my insanity, get away from that thing, out in a nice, beautiful day. I don't know what you're trying to pull. What's it that there with the mental health? All mental health professionals said no. That's a completely different psych evaluation than the one the person gave me, and you called it in out of Arkansas or something. Which and you're lying. Well, we felt there were new diagnoses. Okay. And the problem is, it's the interaction starts. Well, no, it's not that closed the case if the interaction is simply, it starts with the fact the evidence is created. Otherwise, you don't have any reason to be interacting with me, which isn't anything I could have anything to do with. So therefore, and you can just verify whatever the heck it is the actual interactions were. And quite obviously, the emails are going to be falsified by the same man as that falsified the picture evidence. So that doesn't make any sense either. So there's no reason you should be interacting with me. And there's no reason to question my sanity. And then if I were one of your many handicapped people that go through the county jails, and court system, and their relatives and everybody else. I mean, there's lots of handicapped folk down there. As long as if you did not do anything, you're not allowed to do anything to the handicapped person. right now I'm being sexually assaulted with a sexual assault device attached to a cell phone app that professionals have access to.
Yeah.
In this case, some kind of law enforcement, security, maintenance personnel, whatever. The ability these men have now is very, very bad and dangerous, and there is very bad widespread criminal use of it. So you're going to have to address it and fix it so that we have a crime-free country.
Yeah.
No, get them into custody now. The country, it's very, very bad on what you bring into communities, is correct, with all that. Yeah, apparently it was used to technically commit atrocities. I've heard all through the 90s and 2000s, now that I think about it, was what people were talking about. It's in different areas than the one I was, you can tell you can tell in what I'm reporting, they don't have an ability to touch your body, except it's very, except on like Google Man Yellow app, that might be just really more, very bad, but it's absolutely horrific. Which you're supposed to do as law enforcement, if you went and recreated all the years of the crime here on me, it would be unbelievable. So you owe me damages, you owe all your other victims damages. For all of it. I need to immediately go to a location because it's crime against myself where this is not. So you're going to be paying for that, is correct. Like right now. So I'm not being sexually abused, defended against, and you need to get wherever else they're using that thing right now and get them away from their victims. I'm telling you, that son of a bitch is interacting with other people the same way he is interacting with me and all that. And it's gonna be like children and stuff. Sorry. You need to immediately get these men from away from everywhere else they're interacting on that thing also. They are very open about the fact that they're interacting with other people on that thing also. It's going to be like children as well on them, really, that they're interacting with in the background. I have heard them talk about it over and over and over again. For sure, they are interacting with children somewhere on that thing. As badly as possible. You need to get the thing they're on. You can hear me. Sorry, I'm tidying up. You need to get the thing they're on, and you need to figure out where else they're using it. They are definitely using it on little kids somewhere. They're going on and on and on and on and on about it in the background. The inaudible noise, you can hear it, right? How creepy is that? The problem with it is too, it gives them a complete pass to interact with children. I know I've not encountered this thing they're on, but for sure it's since the late 90s or the early 90s. I don't know why. Just the facts.
Jesus, Handle. Oh, how did you be? Oh, should get out of the house so you don't go crazy. Yeah. Stuff to do though in the house. So. That's driven me so crazy. Like when I halfway believe the troll horse story. He narrates it constantly. Really, yeah, he was doing all night. With the troll horse story. I'm not sure. There's no way, but you never know. No. It's because they're on the Empire's police ground, are like assaulting me at the same time they tell it. So it seems like it's true. That is actually what's going on.
No, get these men into custody now. No. Please. Thank you. No. on. Sorry.
Okay. So you're schizophrenic. Have you ever heard that before? Everybody in the room, besides me, it's not supposed to be there. And your invisible friends, invisible monster enemies. So you gotta do what now? Okay. So you're schizophrenic. You're not. No. No. And evil, very badly behaved schizophrenic man. What's that called? I don't know what that means exactly, whatever you're doing. Whatever you're doing. off me with that thing. Would you please get him into custody? I need something. It's embarrassing when you're on the TV and you realize. Okay. I do all that tomorrow. It's the else that I need to do. It's birthday. I'm one of those. You get out of the house. It's breakfast and lunch. Schizophrenia land. 6 Corporate land. Neighborhood pornography house where you can hear them and they can touch you. Okay? Neighborhood pornography house was not, stalker house was not bad enough on my poor little apartment and me. This has to end. They can't continue to do this.
Despite the Mr. Man. L-I-T-Y Boutros is what the flippin' thing just said. Oh, crap. Okay. That's awful. Oh, it's probably awful. Fix my pro wrap. Good. And the camera. Is that necessary? I think so. Villages, Sumter Village, right next to my parents' house. We have stores. I think. I remember the one in Boca. My mother standing there telling the cop there was like, I'm not sure, there was like a thing on the roof and it's a rapist. I don't know, it's this like younger police officer. He's like, are you sure it's not a possum? Because there's like, no, it was a rapist. It was like in the wall or something. Sure, yeah. Like, I remember the conversation. My mother goes, no, it wasn't a possum. It was a rapist. It's a burglar. Really? Yeah. Okay. No, genuine conversation. My dad was out of town. Really? Yeah. I remember that. Really? I'm pretty sure my dad was out of town. My dad must have been at work. I think he was out of town. And it was in the like 2 months that things stalked us again. They might pop back up, like kind of like here and there. Yeah. For sure, they were the same as this. You need to get these men into custody and you need to bust the security offices doing the neighborhood pornography, same as they have in my case. You're going to have to clean up that corruption. You're also going to have to clean up the jurisdiction corruption and whatever heads towards schools in this town. All of them also where there's money. All schools in relation to money, also education in relation to money. You need to check too, like they will just be stealing out the wazoo and not even carry. Sometimes in public sector, it's amazing you can get away with stealing. Oh. No, for sure. How's it here? Yeah.
What the hell is that even? Nonsense. There's no such thing as charging that much money to, you don't have, there's no such thing as that. Really. Yeah, there's no such thing as that. You just simply have a part of the prison. And that's part of mental, is part of mental health. And then for insanity defenses and stuff like that. And that's kind of correct too. As long as you understood your actions enough at the time. Like that man, there was a man in Las Vegas not that long ago, in the last 2 years, that ate another guy's face because he thought he was a skinwalker. Did not know the man, just randomly at the bus stop at 4 o'clock in the morning or something, 5 o'clock in the morning. A guy at the gas station bumped into him or something. He's acting weird and said, "Hey, what's wrong, bub?" So then he went to the bus station and ate another guy's face. Violently attacked the other person just sitting at the bus station. I think it was a black man. That's like a later middle-aged black man. I have to look at the story again. Randomly ate his face. Okay, murdered him and was eating his face. Like his eyeball was dangling out and he was chewing on it. It was this big, looked like a Texan Latino. It looked like a Texan, like Navajo person. Reasonably healthy skin, clear, clean cut ish. It looked like somebody's big, healthy. I mean, he was a big, sturdy kid, a young man, but what kind of like Native American Texan? Or from like, he was from Arizona. I remember he looked like a football. He looked like the football player's like schizophrenic brother. Really. No, there he had absolutely no motive there. A couple of meth. Yeah, took him about a month or two to get through the whole thing. Really. Which he's not supposed to be doing. I think it was just it's obviously the schizophrenic brother. There's pictures of him. I have to look at the case again. But so he knows better than to do. It's a lot of meth. A cup of meth is a lot of meth, isn't it? Really. Baking. I don't know. I'll have to look at the conversion stickers over there. Yeah, that's probably what did it. Well, he knows better to do that if he's having a schizophrenic breakdown or something. He knows better than to do that much meth, or just to continue with his drug addiction and not go turn himself into the hospital, something like that. But that's like an argument for the insanity defense. So he contributed to it, but since he had no motive whatsoever to violently attack the guy next to him, and it was, and then eat his face. It's just, that's the Hinckley defense. Yeah. He didn't understand his actions at the time. But then the argument, so he would actually be a candidate for the insanity defense. They're restoring him to compensate to stand trial. I'm not sure. You know better than you're supposed to be doing the stuff you're doing. Is actually all the criteria is. And you're supposed to go get help. Same as these guys. Like these guys are guilty by reason of disease or defect. And insanity and lowness. Yeah. What's what it's called? Which is what I said. Disease, defect, and lowness. And lowness, like we don't run around leaping and screaming it. It's just, I mean, we're not 10. Okay. 11-year-olds. Jumping, running, leaping, shouting. Yeah. All of it at each other or in general. No, it's all their tone, really. Yeah. It's not how we discuss things appropriately or ever at all. So he was like sleepwalking when he did it, practically. Yeah. It's not understanding your actions at the time. Otherwise, you're not supposed to do whatever it is you're doing. You're supposed to go get help. Um, you shouldn't be, that so it's like it would apply. Might not have been on, it's probably on some drugs. It's not supposed to be on drugs that are, um, I mean, if it was something like legal marijuana, um, well, and it was actually a contributing factor, hmm, and then, but he knows he's not supposed to be on something like methamphetamine, LSD, PCP, heroin, ecstasy, and mushroom tea. It's from the Sublime song. Scarlet begonias. That's what kind of flower that is. Scarlet begonias from the Grateful Dead song. What I ate. I think I read that too. He ate like a janitor on his way to work or something. He ate the maintenance guy sitting on the bus stop on his way to work. He ate a hobo or something. I don't know if it was out really late. Probably. Maybe you said that the last time I got like deja vu. No, I just looked at it in passing. And that's where the insanity defense could apply because there's like, and then it's sort of like, it's like proven that. Yeah, but you're supposed to like go turn yourself into the hospital, which I've discussed with these guys a whole bunch. But yeah. Well, if you're going to eat somebody's face or anything. And then you can go to your doctor and be like, well, that's why you're not supposed to be making it like whatever. Hmm. I'm not going to eat anybody's face. You're eating faces. Really? Yeah. And you know better. You need to go. You don't want to have a normal life? Are there things you like in life? What in the heck are you doing? The hell are you doing with the sexual assault of women and children to death 24/7? And that's a lot of police on the email list. Oh, if you are simply doing the thing you're doing, and then you're anywhere near where I pointed as far as there is the criminal, get him. And then you know that actually the emails got out to everyone. Yeah, this like ostrich with its head in the sand stuff is really, really needs to quit too. You've been doing that all throughout. It's like a symptom. Like, no, everybody can see you. I know, but if I just do it, it just goes away. All the ways you can get away with like breaking the law and the police don't catch you needs to quit out of you too. Like, no, Bubba's just big and he lives somewhere in the city down in the Crackville. So he commits a crime and then he runs away and the cops have to catch him and they don't. There's a reasonable amount of people that kind of look like me and I'm somewhere in Crackville. Okay, and there's a lot of it in the city. Okay, that's horrible. Really? You gotta be kidding me. All the ways you can run off and like, no, you can strangle hookers on Route, 55 or something, Route 90. Oh, okay, that's nice. Well, they just don't know it was you. Oh, because of security cameras. That was apparently what it said about like, well, because I go out during the day a lot and I walk down the street, they'll hit you with a car. There are security cameras everywhere on the street. But I don't know. I said, if there's anything to this murder thing, you're supposed to always take that seriously. What's up with the neighbor's apartment burning down? Really? Yeah. Please get these men into custody now already. They can't handle anymore. No, it's your bra strap. It's actually a sports bra. It's good. Wow. that house. Are you crazy? You can listen to them. I think they'll talk about Todd. When I go down, when I go out, they follow me around on Google Yellow Man map. Apparently, it's fun to stalk me on this thing. Oh, come on. So yeah, it says there was a temporary problem delivering your message to pgunstagtlawyer.com. Gmail will retry for 22 more hours. You will be notified if the delivery failed permanently. So it's hard to block stuff, but you can go through stuff coming back in, which is just weird. Okay, you are getting moved over here. With me. Don't announce it so they don't arrest you for having highly sexualized vibrating pants and skitzing out and yelling at them. Okay.